Hey, it's Brandon with Penn's Family Gaming here to show you how to install and manage Wii U and Wii U Virtual Console games on your newly modded custom Aroma firmware Wii U. Wait, you haven't modded your Wii U yet? Well, unfortunately for you, you can't follow this guide, but there is hope. We have a guide to show you the most up-to-date way to mod your Wii U system with custom Aroma firmware. Follow the guide linked in the video description to mod your system, then come back here. If your system is modded with Aroma firmware, or you are coming from the linked video, then you can follow along right now. In this guide, I'll start by explaining the different storage methods to install your games, along with formatting the storage. The different methods of playing and storing games starts with section 5A, which shows how to copy a game disc directly to the hard drive using a Wii U app called WUDD, or Wii U Disk Dumper. This fairly simple process copies the game files to your SD card, then you install those files to the storage device. Section 5B explores the amazing Wii U app called NUSspli, which is basically a replacement for the Wii U eShop. Download and install games directly from Nintendo servers to your hard drive. Section 5C navigates the Wii U Downloader PC app, which is basically just like NUSspli except accessible on your PC. The last section, section 5D, explains the UWUVCI, or Ultimate Wii U Virtual Console Injector. This PC app allows users to create and install Virtual Console injections, which means the app converts game backups from 9 different consoles to be played directly from the Wii U home menu. We then finished it off with section 6, showing the different controllers you can use in all of these games. If you ever need to rewatch a certain section, take a look at the timeline in the video description or the glossary located here. To view more information, visit pensfamilygaming.com. Pensfamilygaming.com is your go-to resource for console hacking videos, neatly organized to bring you the most up-to-date information along with frequently asked questions answered. Join us on the journey as we work towards completing Project Retro Revival, where we document the progress of bringing every console in our setup to the best it can be in the current year, from hacking, modding, upgrading, 3D printing, and more to come. One by one, each console will get its own full-depth guide video, so you can follow along and stay current with the new hacking methods. Now that we have that out of the way, what exactly do you need to follow this guide? The very first thing you'll need is a modded Wii U system with Aroma custom firmware. As mentioned earlier, follow our guide to mod your system if you haven't modded yours yet. A storage device to install the games to. This can be a hard drive, solid state drive, or M.2 drive. These will be explained in detail shortly so you can make your decision. If you don't want to use a storage device, you can also install the games to your Wii U's internal memory, or NAND. There are 2 different Wii U models, one with 8GB NAND and the other a 32GB NAND, so it isn't much space to work with, but works if you don't want a large collection of games. Lastly, you'll need an SD card, which you already have if your Wii U is hacked. You may want to invest in a USB Ethernet adapter. This adapter will give you a direct connection using Ethernet and can help transfer game files much faster, without errors if you are using the NUSspli method for installing games. This adapter I bought many times before and worked great, recently changed their internal components, and the newer models don't work with the Wii U anymore. There are still adapters out there that work, and I have models listed on pensfamilygaming.com and in the video description. If you find a model that works, let us know in the comments so I can add it to the list. Now that you know a little about the methods for installing games, let's go ahead and get your SD card ready by transferring the files needed to continue with the tutorial. If you previously followed our guide to hack your Wii U, you do not need to add these files to your SD card, as the files are already there. Go ahead and plug your Wii U SD card into your PC now if you didn't follow our hacking guide, but still have an Aroma modded Wii U. If you followed our Wii U hacking guide to get Aroma, you can skip to the next section, which is section 3, Game Storage Methods. Since your Wii U is already modded, your SD card is already formatted to FAT32 and ready. We just need to add a few more files to the SD card to access some of the homebrew shown in this guide. Download the PFG Wii U side files link in the video description. Once downloaded, unzip the package. If using Windows 10 or 11, it should have a built-in file archiver tool to unzip. So simply double-clicking on the zipped file package will grant you access to the files so you can highlight all the files and drag and drop to your SD card. Another option is right-clicking and selecting Extract All, which will unzip the zipped folder for access to the files. If you aren't able to do either of these, you'll need to download a file archiver tool like WinRAR or 7-zip to do the job. Once you have access to the files, drag and drop the files onto your SD card and replace the files if your PC asks. Now that you have your SD card ready, let's go ahead and get your storage device ready to install games. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the storage methods for the Wii U games on the Wii U side. Now, if you watch my USB loader tutorial, you'll remember that you have to have two separate storage methods, one for the VWii USB loader and one for the Wii U side. So for this, we're talking strictly Wii U side storage. You can literally use just about any storage method possible. The max storage device you can have is 2 terabytes. You can use one larger than 2 terabytes, but the Wii U will only use 2 terabytes of the space, leaving the rest of the space unusable. So it really doesn't make much sense purchasing a device larger than 2 terabytes. So for the most basic ones, we've got just a standard external hard drive. If you use one of these USB powered hard drives, you're gonna have to use a dual USB power cable. So what this is gonna do, because the Wii U doesn't provide enough power in the USB ports, you have to use 2 USB ports to power this thing. So both of these are going to go into the back of the Wii U to allow this to work. Whenever you plug in a storage device to the Wii U, it's going to ask you to format it. The Wii U is going to format your storage device to a proprietary format, so only that Wii U can use the storage device. So you can't format this hard drive and put it on another Wii U. It has to stay with this Wii U. You also can use a wall-powered USB hard drive, so you're going to power this through the wall outlet, a 12-volt, and then the USB cable would go into the Wii U. Flash drives can also be used, doesn't matter the size. SD cards in a USB adapter can be used too to store games. I don't recommend this as there's better options, but if you wanted to, it does work. Now for one of the best options is the solid state drive. It uses very little power, so you don't need a dual USB cable, and you would just use one of these cables here, an SSD to 3.0 adapter. You simply plug it in like so, and then plug in the USB cable into your Wii U. It works great, it draws very little power, and it's probably the best speed that you can get, although you're really not going to see any performance by using one of these just because you're limited to the USB on the Wii U, which is very slow. And for the final option, which is a good option too, is M.2 in a USB enclosure. Now you have to be careful, there are 2 different types of M.2 drives. If you don't know what it is, it's a little stick that looks like this. If you haven't been around, PCs a whole lot, that's basically all it is. Just this little stick here. It will go in this enclosure, slide right in, press it down, and then put the cover on. You would then plug the USB cable into here, and then the other end into the Wii U. There are 2 differences between the M.2 drives. There's a SATA version and there's an NVMe version. The NVMe is way faster, but once again, you're not going to be able to take advantage of that speed. And second off, the NVMe one takes way more power. So the NVMe one's not going to be able to be used with just a single USB port. You're going to have to use a USB hub if you want this one to work. So I suggest definitely getting just the SATA M.2, okay? It's actually going to be specific on the description. Whenever you buy it, it'll say SATA M.2. The same thing with the enclosures. This is an NVMe enclosure, and this is a SATA M.2 enclosure. So if you get a SATA M.2, you're going to have to get a SATA M.2 enclosure. If you get an NVMe M.2, you're going to get an NVMe enclosure. So like I said, if you want to use this NVMe one, you're going to have to use a USB hub like here. I would just plug this into the hub, which is powered by a wall outlet, and then plug the data cable from this hub into the Wii U, and then it will work. Definitely a lot more work using the NVMe one, so I really suggest just doing the SATA M.2 and the SATA M.2 enclosure. Not only that, the NVMe ones are going to be a lot more expensive also. Go ahead and have your storage device connected to your Wii U. If you have not formatted your storage device, it will ask you whenever you boot your Wii U up to format it, so go ahead and do that. Now remember, as I explained in my previous tutorial for USB Loader GX, you have to have 2 separate storage devices. One for the Wii U side, one for the VWii or USB Loader side. So this tutorial is focusing on the Wii U side. So let's go ahead and get our Wii U storage device set up. Whenever you have your storage device connected to the Wii U, it will automatically boot up and say this needs to be formatted. If it does not ask you to format, you can go ahead and go into System Settings. In the System Settings, the second option right here is Copy, Move, Delete Data, and Format USB Storage. So that's what we want to do, is to format the USB storage. Go ahead and select Format USB Storage Device. This will format the USB storage device so that it can be used with this console. Next, next, and just remember, it will delete everything off of this hard drive. So if you have anything that you need to keep, make sure you put that on your PC or back it up and then format the drive, because this will delete everything. It will format it to a Wii U proprietary format so that you cannot access this hard drive on your PC or any other device. It will be made specifically for this Wii U, but if you ever need to, you can still use it on your PC, but you'll just lose all of your Wii U data. Format this USB storage device. Next. And then the last, press the red format button. So it is complete. Now that your storage device is formatted and ready to be used, we will explore the different ways you can install games. So let's get started. The first method we will explore is copying a game disc to your storage device. Using a homebrew app called WUDD, or Wii U Disc Dumper, which was created by MassGel, we can easily copy the game disc. The WUDD app should be on your home screen. Go ahead and insert your game disc first into your Wii U and launch the WUDD app now from the Wii U home menu. Go ahead and place your disc in your Wii U. And once again, thank you for MassGel for all of your work on this. He created this app, he created Tiramisu, he created Aroma, so big thanks to him. We're gonna go ahead and go down to dump partition as .app. This is going to create only the files that we need from the disk to allow us to install to either our Wii U internal memory or an external hard drive. The dump target, you wanna make sure it says SD. So whenever you have a dump partition as .app, go ahead and press A on that. Sometimes you might get two different things here. Always choose the one that says game and the one that shows a large gigabyte partition. So this one's 6.07. Sometimes you might get another one that says 0.0. Always choose the one that actually has the game. So this is selected. I'm going to go ahead and press A, and it will now dump the disk to our SD card. Once the disk dump is done, go ahead and press the A button to return. You can go ahead and go down to exit. After your disk has been dumped to your SD card, go ahead and place your SD card back into your PC. So here is my SD card. Whenever you dump your Wii U disk, it will automatically create this folder on your SD card, WUDD. So go into that folder there, then it will create another one right here, then go into that one, and then you'll see this folder. If we go into this folder, we'll see all of these different files. It broke up the disk into a bunch of different files. So go ahead and back out, and this one right here we can go ahead and rename. Yours might be different, like yours will probably have different letters and numbers, but as long as you go into the folder and you see all of these, you can go ahead and back out and rename this folder to the game name, or name it whatever you want. So what I'm going to do is grab this Monster Hunter folder and put it in the root of my SD card. So I'm going to drag and drop it up here. It says move to 128 gigabyte SD. That's my root of my SD card. I'll drop it there. Now I'll go back into the root of my SD card, find that Monster Hunter folder, and put this in my install folder. So drag and drop into the install folder. If you do not have an install folder, just go ahead and right click, new, and then create a new folder called install. So if we go to my install folder, I now have my Monster Hunter folder with all of the files in it. So now I can put my SD card back into my Wii U and install Monster Hunter to my hard drive. Launch WUP Installer from the Wii U home menu. Anytime you launch WUP Installer, it's going to read everything in your install folder on your SD card. So as you remember, we placed Monster Hunter that we copied from the disk into our install folder. We can see it right there. I'm going to select it and then press the install button. Are you sure you want to install? Yes. where do you want to install? So if I choose NAND, that's going to install to my internal memory, which is totally fine. But since I have a hard drive connected, I want to install to USB, so I'm going to select that one. Alright, so Monster Hunter was successfully installed. Press OK. And then press the home button to exit out. Let's go back to our main Wii U menu. So we can see it right here on the main Wii U menu that is on our hard drive, and you can see this icon here, which is the disk drive. So let's go ahead and run it from our hard drive. If it asks you to update or starts updating automatically, that is perfectly fine. No issues with that at all. And that is how you copy game discs to your storage device. NUSspli, a Wii U homebrew app created by Violator, is a replacement for the Nintendo eShop. While the Wii U's official eShop and online services were shut down in March of 2023, the content delivery servers that store the game files remain active for now. This is because these servers are also used for other purposes, such as re-downloading previously purchased titles. NUSspli takes advantage of this by downloading games, updates, and DLC directly from Nintendo's official content delivery network, also known as NUS. Because of the way the Wii U's download services were set up, homebrew devs reverse engineered a way for NUSspli to access the same game files as the official Wii U eShop used. NUSspli will show up on your Wii U home menu, so make sure you are connected to the internet via a Wi-Fi or Ethernet connection. One thing to mention that will make the process of downloading games faster and less error prone is to get a USB Ethernet adapter. Using a Wi-Fi connection can sometimes show an error not allowing you to finish the download. This adapter plugs into the Wii U USB port to allow a wired Ethernet connection, which fixes the errors. Make sure to read the reviews to make sure the adapter works with the Wii U. NUSspli will show up directly on your Wii U home menu. Launch NUSspli now once you have a Wi-Fi or wired connection established. Make sure you're connected to the internet and launch NUSspli. So let's go ahead and go to download content. Here we can find all of the different games that are available. Using the shoulder buttons, we can go down to Updates, DLC, Demos, and All. You can press down on the D-pad to go one by one, or you can press left and right on the D-pad to go up and down super fast. And then obviously the flags next to the games means the region that those games are in. So right here is the US flag, so I'm going to go ahead and choose Shovel Knight. So the first option shows where we want to install it to. I've got my hard drive connected for my storage method, so I want to install to USB. You can also choose to install to your NAND, which is your internal memory if you wanted to. If for some reason you only wanted to just download the files to back them up on your PC, you could choose that, download only, and then you can choose where to download to. So you could choose to download to your SD, to your NAND, or your USB. But what I want to do is install to my USB hard drive. So I've got my operation install to my USB, and then download to SD. So it's going to download the files to my SD card and then automatically install to my USB. Now this says keep downloaded files. I'm going to say no. I don't want to keep the install files. It'll just take up space. I just want to download and then install and get rid of those install files. So now that I'm ready, I'm going to go ahead and press the start button. A great feature whenever you go to install a game, it'll actually tell you that there's updates too. Do you want to install those updates also? Of course you do. You'll most likely want to install the update also. Let's go ahead and install the update too. Right now we are downloading at 3.66 megabytes per second, which is more than double the Wi-Fi connection using this wired connection. You can see it's hitting up to 8 megabytes a second. Alright, it was installed successfully. No errors, no network issues at all. I'm going to go ahead and press the A button. Now remember, if you don't do the update and DLC all in one go, what you want to do is always install the game first, then install the update, and then install the DLC. So exiting out of NUSspli, going to our main Wii U menu, we can see Shovel Knight was installed to our menu. Super easy process. Another option to install games to your Wii U is a PC app called Wii U Downloader, which acts much like the previous method I showed, NUSspli, except instead of using it on your Wii U, you use it on your PC. The main advantage over NUSspli are the download speeds, where you can easily see the difference side by side. NUSspli's absolute consistent max speed I experience with a wired connection, mind you, is 3.5 megabytes a second, and that isn't always sustained. Wii U Downloader hits 105 megabytes a second and stays there consistently. That is an over 1000% increase in speed, which is also in part due to my internet provider speed, so your speeds can vary. This can help you a ton compared to NUSspli for downloading large Wii U games, or if you have a large queue of games to download. So let's get started using the Wii U Downloader PC program. Go ahead and download the Wii U Downloader Windows zipped file right here. Once you have the Wii U Downloader zip file, go ahead and right click on it and extract all. This will pop up and go ahead and extract. What this will do is extract the Windows archive. By extracting the archive, we now have this folder right here on the desktop that I will go ahead and go into. This is the Wii U Downloader folder now that I can use. If we scroll down to the very bottom, Wii U Downloader.exe is what we want to go ahead and run. This is what will run the program. So Windows might pop up with a warning like this. All you have to do is hit more info and then run anyway. I want to show the process of how you download the base game, how you update the game, and how you download and install DLC. So for this example, let's go ahead and search for Batman. I want to go ahead and download Batman Arkham Origins. So I have the game selected, and I have this down here, decrypt contents. You absolutely have to have that done, so make sure that is checked. And then I will go ahead and hit download queue. My queue right now is Batman Arkham Origins. And actually, I think if I go ahead and select that, and then come here, select the update to. So we've got my queue over here. We've got the base game, the update, and we'll go the DLC too. So we've got all three in the queue. I will go ahead and hit download queue. And we have USA. I don't know. Let me see what happens if I hit Europe. Okay, so it brings up the Europe region. So I am not in Europe, so I will go ahead and hit USA. So we've got all three USA right here. Game, update, DLC, ready to go. Hit download queue. I'm just going to put it in my downloads folder. You can, download it wherever you want. As you can see how fast this is, it is insane, 108 megabytes per second. NUSspli was going at max like 3.5 megabytes a second, so you can see how much time can be saved by using the Wii U Downloader app. Alright, so Wii U Downloader finished the downloads. I have all three of my downloads right here. We have the base game, the update, and the DLC. Thankfully, they labeled those for us. So put your SD card in your PC and go to the install folder. The install folder is where all of your games will go whenever you want to install them. So I will highlight all three of these, and I will just drag and drop them to my install folder on my SD card. Quite a big game, 27 gigabytes. And once they are done transferring, just put your SD card back into your Wii U. Now that your SD card is in your Wii U, launch WUP Installer from your Wii U home menu. WUP Installer is a homebrew app that allows you to install the games, updates, and DLC direct to your Wii U storage devices. It was created by developer DJ Skull. Once in WUP Installer, we can see the three different downloads: the game portion, the update portion, and the DLC portion. That is the exact order you should install all games, starting with the game, then update, then DLC. So starting out, I choose the Batman folder labeled Game. Do you want to install? Yes. Where do you want to install? If you choose NAND, the game will be installed to your Wii U's internal memory, but since I have a hard drive attached, I will choose USB. Once the game is complete, I choose the update to install next, with the same options I chose for the base game. Finally, I choose the DLC folder and install the same way. Once all the installs are complete, press the Home button and close out of WUP Installer app. Your newly installed game will now show up on the Wii U home menu. The final way to get games onto your Wii U is with a PC tool called UWUVCI, or Ultimate Wii U Virtual Console Injection by ZestyTS. UWUVCI can take backups from nearly any game across 9 different consoles and inject them into an existing Wii U Virtual Console title, which is a game that was originally sold on the Wii U eShop. After injection, the Wii U believes the injected file is the native Virtual Console game, so the new title launches directly from the Wii U home menu, just like a downloaded eShop title. In short, UWUVCI wraps your game backup inside of a legitimate Virtual Console container, so it runs seamlessly from the home menu. Hundreds of games are now at your disposal from the Wii U home menu with a few downsides. First, not every game is supported. Fortunately, the modding scene has spent countless hours testing each game and reporting on the compatibility. Visiting the compatibility site, link in the video description, will show the exact settings people used and whether it works or not. Let's take a look at my example. I want to inject one of my all-time favorites, Hannah Montana. To do this, I visit the Wii U VC Wii Inject compatibility site. This site shows whether a game runs correctly or gives you the correct settings to use. On the site, since I am using a Wii game, I choose Wii in the search bar and type Hannah. Unfortunately, people out there don't know about the greatness of Hannah Montana, so there is no entry on the site. Normally, on the compatibility site, you'd see the game name, which is the game file you have, then the game region, which is your game's region. The base game is the game you are making your Wii U think that it is playing. The status is whether it works or not, and gamepad support shows whether the Wii U gamepad works with the game or not. There are usually some notes for extra information. Let's go ahead and get to converting Hannah Montana into a Virtual Console injected game. Visit the link in the video description to download and install the UWUVCI program to your PC. Once downloaded, run the installer to install the program. Windows may pop up with a notification preventing you from opening the app. Just hit more info and then run anyway. Just keep pressing next and choose where you want to install on your PC. For some reason, it asks if you want to uninstall. Just press yes, as it must be a typo. To run the program, if you didn't create a desktop shortcut, go into the folder you installed the program to. Launch the UWUVCI AIO.exe to run the program. The introduction tutorial will run. Just press the next button multiple times to get through the prompts after reading. Once out of the tutorial and in the program, the left sidebar contains the 9 consoles that can be injected. Because there are 9 different consoles that can have their games injected, they all have slightly different methods and procedures for injecting. I will not cover every console as it would take too long, but there is an amazing guide that shows step by step for each console game that you want to convert. Visiting the official UWUVCI guide, link in the video description, will allow you to choose the console game you want injected. Since I am injecting a Wii game, I choose Wii VC Inject. The first step is to choose a base from the drop-down menu. The base is the game we will make your Wii U think is a Virtual Console game. Next, we need to add the Wii U common key. This is a key you received when you backed up your NAND in the hacking guide. It is a otp.bin file. If you still have it on your SD card, it will probably be in your NAND backup folder or on your PC if you placed it there. If you still can't find the key, then you can back up your NAND again by holding the B button on your gamepad while your Wii U is booting up and select NAND dumper to go through that process again. Upload the otp.bin file for the Wii U common key. Press the check button to make sure the key is good. Now we will enter the title key. The title key is a unique cryptographic code used to decrypt and authenticate digital game files on the Wii U. A Wii U title key site, link in the video description, will get the exact code that we need. Since I use Rhythm Heaven Fever as the base game, we need to find the Rhythm Heaven Fever title key from the site. Using the search bar on the site brings up the title key right up. Copy the title key and paste it into the program. Something I noticed is if I hit the copy button for the key, UWUVCI will say the key is too long. but if I highlight and copy, it works fine. Once the key is uploaded, hit the download button and wait for the base to finish downloading. Select File next to ROM path and select the game file you want to inject, which in my case is hannahmontana.wbfs. Besides WBFS, they can also be .iso, nkit.iso, or nkit.gcz files. The next option, if there are pre-made images on the server, then you will be offered to download them. If no images were found on the server, or you wish to add your own images, then you can do so now using the icon image or TV image. Game name can be whatever you want, but usually this will be auto-filled. The Use Gamepad As option provides many different setups. Choosing Do Not Use, Wiimotes Only option will make the game function like a normal Wii game, where you have to use a physical Wiimote and nunchuck. This is the most compatible mode and will usually work quite flawlessly. There are compatibility lists to show the best settings to use on a per game basis, and I highly suggest looking at this before choosing your setting, as they can tell you the exact settings to use for best compatibility. Here is a quick guide to help you decide which options to use. The other options have some downsides and may not work depending on how the game is supposed to be played. Once your details are filled out, hit the Inject button. Once injection is complete, hit the WUP installable button to create files to install to your Wii U. Once that is complete, hit Copy to SD to automatically copy it to your SD card. This will place the installable game package into your install folder on the root of your SD card. To manually do it, open the folder and drag and drop the package to your SD card install folder. Our Hannah Montana game, The GOAT, is ready to be installed. Place your SD card back into your Wii U and launch WUP Installer from the home menu. WUP Installer is an app that allows you to install game files to your storage device. Once in WUP Installer, select the game to install and press Install. Choose where you want to install the game, either NAND for your internal memory or USB for your USB storage device. Once complete, the game will be installed to the Wii U home menu. Once again, follow the official UWUVCI guide for each console type, as I can't go through every option.
Time to talk about all the different controllers that you can use on your Wii U system to play these games. If you place the files or you followed my previous guides, hacking your Wii U, you're going to have this program, this homebrew program called Blue Pair. It's going to allow you to add different controllers like PlayStation controllers, Xbox controllers. Here are all of the supported controllers. Obviously, you can use a Wii U Pro controller too to play these games. You can even use GameCube controllers in the WUWVCI GameCube injected games also. So if you want to take a look at all of the supported controllers, go ahead and look in the video description. The link is there. Here is already installed on your Wii U if you followed my guide or if you placed the files on your SD card earlier in the video. To connect, you would just connect like you would a Wii U Pro controller. So I'm going to hit the sync button on the front of my Wii U. With my PlayStation 4 controller, I'm going to go ahead and hold the share button and then hold the PlayStation button here. And it'll flash like so. And it's connected now. Low battery, of course. And I've got the PlayStation 5 controller connected just like I did with the DualShock 4. You can see that it's moving the tiles. So any controller paired with Blue Pair will work perfectly fine in Wii U games. As you can see, I've got this PlayStation 5 controller. Same thing with the PlayStation 4, some Xbox controllers, Joy-Cons, they all work perfectly fine in Wii U games. But the Wii U Pro controller is the best one because it will work in GameCube games, Wii U games, sometimes Wii games. Blue Pair does not work in Wii or GameCube injected games because it has to go to the virtual Wii side. It's just not compatible on that side. It only works on the Wii U side. For some reason you're having screw-ups with your controllers or you've got too many connected and you want to get rid of them, go ahead and go to your settings, then choose this option here, Wii Remote and Sensor Bar, and then choose the option Delete All Wii Remote Pairings. Now you can start fresh. So this is probably my favorite controller to use just because of how easy it is to use and everything, from GameCube games to Wii U games, and it's wireless, feels good, the Wii U Pro controller. Syncing it, press the sync button in the front, sync button on the back of the controller, and it syncs up super easy. Here I have my Wii U Pro controller connected. I am currently playing Metroid Prime, which was a Wii VC injected game. As you can see, it works perfectly fine. The issue is, whenever you go to launch a GameCube game and it asks you to use the gamepad, if you want to use a controller, hit no. If you select yes that you want to use a gamepad, it'll make this controller number 2 and the gamepad controller number 1. And so in a single player game like this, you're not going to be able to use the controller because it's acting as controller number 2. So if you want to use a controller, select no on gamepad. Unlike the controllers that were connected with Blue Pair, the Wii U Pro controller still works. You have to be careful with these. Make sure it is an OEM or Nintendo brand Wii U Pro controller. Not every third-party controller works. I do have a list of compatible controllers that has not been filled out yet. So if you come across a third-party Wii U Pro controller that works for these games, go ahead and let me know in the comments and I'll add it to the list. Another option is using the GameCube adapter. It has 2 USB cords that plug directly into the front USB ports, and then the GameCube controller works. As you can see, the GameCube controller works perfect with that adapter. A few other great options for Wii and GameCube games is using a classic controller here on my left, the GameCube controller that plugs into the Wiimote on my right. Both of these can plug right into a Wiimote like so. And when you choose a game, just hit no when it asks, do you want to use a gamepad? You can see it works great. I can even switch the controllers mid-game.
The best is yet to come for your Wii U. Don't miss the next videos from Pins Family Gaming to see what your console can really do. Head over to pinsfamilygaming.com to view the next videos in the series or view the link in the video description. Take care.